guess I'm going first. When Tim and I started our first theater in 1994 in Bakersfield, it was not the first time we worked together, because we met in college and we did work together in college. But when we started the theater, we had no trouble defining who was going to do what, because our skill sets were almost completely opposite. We had Venn diagrams that didn't meet at all, and so we worked really, really well together. But we did have one skill, or I should say lack of skill, that we both shared, and we knew that it was going to be a fight to decide who was going to have to do it, because at that time, when we were first starting, we were both painfully shy, and somebody was going to have to stand up in front of audiences and speak, and neither of us wanted to do it. But I felt more strongly about it, and so I won. And so Tim has been the face of our partnership ever since. And I have to say that it was a great decision, because who knew that lurking behind that painfully shy boy that I had dated for 7 years was a raging exhibitionist. So all that is to say that I'm going to be turning it over to Tim real soon now. But before I do that, I do want to say my own personal thank yous, because there are a lot of people here who have significantly important roles in the creation of the thing that we're being honored for, which is the glorious adventure that was creating the Alamo Drafthouse Cinema. So my parents couldn't make it tonight, but Tim's parents are here. Both my parents and his, in spite of being completely appalled that we abandoned our university-trained careers to start a movie theater, which failed, and then we started all over again. They both donated, or they gave us money, they lent us money, and they came and they did work. All of the tables, the long tables that were at the original Colorado Street location, that was Tim's dad. And I remember in the winter, that really bad ice storm that we had in 1997, Tim's mom drove for 9 hours to get here from Houston so that she could feed us. I also want to thank, because we've never properly thanked her, Tim's cousin, Mary, who let us live in her house for a year while we were building the theater. We have several college friends here who didn't laugh at us when we gave them our painfully skimpy business plan and actually loaned us money. We have Danny Roth here, who met us when we were 25 years old. We looked 15, and he didn't laugh at us, and he helped us find our first location, and our second, and our third, and our fourth, and our fifth. Richard Weiss, who's been our architect since our second location, and helps us with every project, no matter how tangentially related to architecture it is. He just, lives and breathes Alamo. He probably has nightmares about Alamo. We have people here who were on our early crew. We have Elle Klein, who was on the very, very first round of employees that we have, and was our first manager, who gave us a night off for the first time in 2 years. So many other people here who, were there from the beginning. Andrew McKeithran, who started in our first year and still works for Alamo. He's the second longest employee of Alamo besides Tim. And everyone here, whether we've known them for a short time or a long time, have contributed significantly. We would not be the entity, or Alamo would not be the entity that it is without them. We also have other collaborators, Graham Reynolds, who does all of the scores for Richard, who started us off on our silent film and live music score journey. And just so many others. I also want to thank Austin Film Society, who was a fantastic partner from the very, very beginning, who gave us, just such a jump start with bringing their force of their audience and their cachet when they started to show films at the Alamo. And most importantly of all, the people who really kept our doors open were the customers, which is pretty much every single person in this room. And we thank you so much for appreciating what we've tried to do. And yeah, now I'd like to turn it over to the person whose job this actually is.
Oh boy, it's funny. There's these teleprompters here, side to side, and they make me super nervous. So I tend not to use them, and I wrote maybe 7 words that are on them, and I might occasionally glance in. I can't even do it. It's, I'll just start talking. First, I want to correct the record. No, I'm not going to correct the record. I'm going to tell you a little story. So I haven't told this story to anybody, I think, in the entire universe, because it's really embarrassing and it doesn't really speak well of me. But there's a moment, when you do things or you have bad experiences, they just burn in your brain. You don't remember the little pleasant moments that you had, like a nice cup of coffee or something like that, but it's the horrifying moments that burn forever. So this was, I think, I don't know, it's probably a felony, I'm not sure what we did. We were very poor. We didn't have enough money to start the theater. It was a ridiculous idea. We built the first theater for $200,000, but it had nothing for it. It's nothing. There was no plumbing. There was no electric. There was just like a space. But there was an apartment in the front of the building. It's like, okay, well, we're going to rip that out. And so we had actually come to terms with the property owner. We were just the tenant. And this is a story about Danny. Danny, I'm sure you remember this because it's burned into my brain. And it's like, oh my God, who the fuck have I gotten into business with? So we came to terms with the lease. And in my mind, I'd never signed a commercial lease before. It's like, okay, we came to terms. That means it's ours, right? So we hadn't actually signed the lease. And it was a long vacation weekend. And we only had 6 months of free rent to build out the Alamo. And so I was like, well, Karrie didn't say no to my logic here. It's like, well, we've agreed to terms, so it's ours. We have the key. Let's go in. Let's demolish the entire front of the building because it'll save us 4 days. And we only have 6 months. And so we're 3 days into this, and we've demolished pretty much 2/3 of this apartment suite. And our real estate broker came in, and I will forever remember, and Mom and Dad, I'm sorry. I don't, these are not good stories about you. So he came in and said, what the fuck are you doing? Anyway, that didn't go over that well, but that's a story. So Danny, I'm sorry. I just want to say I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You're here in the room. I haven't seen you for a little while, and I apologize for burning that into your brain. I shouldn't have done it. I know better now. All right. I ran into Elle Klein, who was a part of our original crew. Something Karrie didn't say about that original crew time. I had taken a job at Double Dave's and she had taken a job at the Red Lion Inn. So she was a waitress. I cooked pizzas. We did it for 2 weeks. We were the worst employees they ever had. But the soul, we didn't have any experience doing this business and cooking and such. And so we stole all their employee manuals. And I remember the very first day where I'm reading this employee manual that I hadn't read that much. I just kind of photocopied it from Double Dave's and changed the names. And Elle was looking at me, who's been, had a bunch of jobs, and it's like, I don't know, whatever, guys. And it was just a mess. And I was confiding in her, it's like, well, I'm really glad that I've forgotten all the really problematic stories of those early days, because it was kind of rough and loose. And she said, I remember them all. So there's Elle. If you want to hear some fun stories, she's back there. It's funny. I'm looking at the teleprompter, it still carries stuff. So I just keep on riffing on stuff. I want to just be humbled in front of you for this. I mean, this award, I've been coming to this forever, since the very beginning. I love this event, and I've been able to meet a bunch of my heroes. I mean, Shirley fucking MacLaine was on this stage. And it's like, I echo Michelle's comment. It's like, I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy. This is crazy. This doesn't make any sense. I'm glad you've made some sort of clerical error and you brought us here to the stage, because it gives me sort of infinite bragging rights for being a part of a really elite club. I will say that something that wasn't mentioned, we had a theater in Bakersfield. I am a Texan. No, I'm not. I say that sometimes. Full disclosure, I was born in Berkeley, California, so I'm one of those people that moved from California to Texas, but I was only 14 months old. I was 14 months old when I came to Texas. I should have just left when I was a Texan. I pretend to be a Texan. We came to Texas to start this after our failed theater in Bakersfield because Mary let us sleep on the couch. And if you believe it or not, Austin was pretty cheap at that time. But the other reason we came, no joke, was because of the Austin Film Society. We wanted to come to a place that was special and loved film, and the Austin Film Society is why we came. I mentioned my cousin Mary, and I actually want to hereby apologize. Danny, I got this off my chest. Mary, we were there for a year. A lot of times, we were working kind of 18-hour days, 7 days a week to build the theater, and we would come home, and 6.8 days out of 7, we didn't shower, we just collapsed in bed. And I feel really bad because I know that we ruined probably a good $4,000 worth of sheets and loofahs and towels. We were the most disgusting roommates. I am sorry. I am sorry. I am sorry. This is good. It's been very therapeutic to get this off my chest. So, but we're here, I think, because of this idea of building community and supporting filmmakers. That was our guiding star for why we're in this business. It's why I still love to be in this business. And I think you all are also here because of that same reason, and because of an extraordinarily special and rare organization that is the Austin Film Society. So we're blessed to have it in our town. So there are very few things that are within my power, and I actually don't technically think this is within my power, but I'm going to go ahead and overstep my bounds and go ahead and issue this dictate right here, right now. As you know, we are in kind of dark days, right? There's forces that are threatening the funding of the arts. So I know we already did the auction thing and all that, and everybody raised their paddles, but don't forget about the Austin Film Society. Continue to give. Dig deep, because we need to right here, right now, in these darkest of days. The thing that is within my power is I think I might have reserved this right in my contract. I'll have to read the fine print. But I hereby today, I ban for life coming to the Alamo Drafthouse Cinema Elon Musk. He can no longer come. He can no longer come until there are, and he has been to the theater, and so I'm actually costing us a little revenue. I apologize about that. He can do two things to get out of this purgatory state. One, with his Doge-like efforts, he can leave arts funding the fuck alone. Just don't even touch it. Just like, see, look, and okay, then you get 5% off popcorn and free ticket on your birthday, and you're welcome back. The other way, if you just like you feel, I gotta cut and burn everything. The other way you can do it is make a massive donation to the Austin Film Society. All right, till then, see you later, buddy. All right, with that, I'm out. I love you. I love Austin. I love everybody from Alamo. Thank you so much. Sorry, totally forgot. So there was something going on with I didn't have my really sparse teleprompter things. I forgot the last teleprompter note was super important. It was punk Michelle Rodriguez. I totally forgot about that. So you might have seen in the video clip there, there's a clip from 2010. Michelle Rodriguez came to Fantastic Fest. And I boxed her in the Fantastic Debates. It's complicated. We'll tell you about it later. As no surprise, judging by what you see before you, I won. I defeated Michelle Rodriguez in a boxing match because. So I'm basically. I know, Michelle, you probably haven't come back to Texas because you're ashamed of the loss, and I know it's difficult. And you're here, and I'm glad you're here. But if you, that was year 5 of Fantastic Fest. It's our 20th anniversary. If you would, I'm hereby granting you the right to redeem your honor in the ring anytime. See you in September.